A wizard tower.
Return of Gelu review.
Nice wolf armor, by the way. Hey! Lion Hero. He is going to be a special guest in this Terraria series.
Greetings, comrades. This is 88 Gelu. Here with another Skyrim character build. This one is the Wanderer. The Wanderer is a non-citizen race like an Argonian, Khajiit, Redguard, etc. who has made a pilgrimage to Skyrim or just traveled to Skyrim in search of a better life, only to find themselves mixed up in a civil war between the imperials and the Stormcloaks. And now, the Wanderers must find their own way to protect themselves from the newfound chaos in their new homeland. So now, I believe that we shall start with some of the other information. Firstly, the rules. The rules are as follows. You can only have weapons and other items that are given to you from quests or that you find. So like Daedric weapons are fine. Guild armor and stuff is fine, but you cannot craft anything. And here to demonstrate a Wanderer, we have Marik the Liar.
Mike does not remember his childhood.
But yeah,
Perhaps he never had one.
I went around Skyrim searching for an example of a Wanderer for like 20 minutes, and he's the best I could find, but at least he's well known. So, now I'll give you guys a bit of an idea of what the Wanderers are. If you haven't already guessed, you know how sometimes in Skyrim you'll find guys like Argonians or Redguards, which are covered in mismatched armor, like dwarven armor with like a tiara and iron gloves and glass boots or something like that. Well, that's what the Wanderers are. So here I have for myself typical appearance of a Wanderer with just a bunch of mismatched armor that I have found in my travels. Now, I think that the highest tier armor you can find, apart from like special quest armor and stuff, is ebony and glass. But I do know that I have actually found dragon bone armor inside treasure chests. But I think that's incredibly rare. So now on to the skill tree. Please ignore what I have over there, because I had to just reuse a character. Now, as a Wanderer, you're not going to be specializing in any type of magic, because, you know, and you're supposed to keep with the enchanted items that you find, generally. I think it would be fair if you could have at least a little bit of leeway, so you can put points in enchanting. Smithing would pretty much just be for upgrading the armor you've discovered. And then you could put in points in heavy and light armor. But if you do, you probably only want to put it in the first tier, because you're probably going to be switching off what your armors are very often. Then, of course, there's always blocking, two-handed, and one-handed, all of which depend on what you would like to, which one you prefer. Archery is an obvious, since you can't use magic for long-range attacks, so you're going to want to get archery no matter what. Maybe not completely fill it up, but you know you're going to want to fill up at least this side of the skill tree. there isn't really any type of any stealth at all involved in a wanderer, so you will not have skills like sneak, lock picking, or pickpocketing. Speech, however, is fine. Alchemy is also fine. Now for your points down here. Oh. There is Magicka, health, and stamina. Do not follow this pattern that I have over here, because this is my warlock. Your health is going to be your main point, since you're not... Actually, stamina. Sorry, my bad. So, in a 3-point skills point session, you're going to want stamina, health, stamina. And keep going like that. So stealth first, not stealth, stamina first, then health. And continue onwards. The main, so I think in all honesty you could consider this a hardcore class, but to be honest it's fairly easy to use. The main problem with it is being able to find weapons and armor that can coexist well with each other. In other words, ones that work cooperatively. Now, another rule for this class is you have to be any non-imperial, non-nord race. You see right here I'm a dark elf, because as I said, once again, this is my warlock, but dark elf wanderer makes sense. In that right, Shadowmere. The recommended guilds are going to be ones like, the companions, and really that's about it. Just the companions. But for your companion, you don't want someone like Lydia here. That's just a whole nother warrior in the mix. What you are going to want is a spellcaster, and mainly a healing spellcaster, which may require the better followers mod, but hopefully it won't. Then of course there's shouts, and also recommended enchantments that you could find. So for shouts, I generally don't go into shouts, because really anyone works. I think the main ones that you're going to want to use, though, are probably ones like Elemental Fury, Marked for Death, and Unrelenting Force, because it could really give you the edge in combat. Then, of course, there's enchantments. The recommended enchantments are not the ones that I have listed on my current items. You are going to want ones that possibly drain, like ones that drain health so you can regain health. Sorry, I mean absorb. And then also at the beginning you should choose your preferred style, like whether you want to go dual-handed, one-handed with a shield, or two-handed weapon, because, you know, that's the smart thing to do. Once you pick that, then you'll be able to assess which types of enchantments you want more. Generally, the enchanting difference will be like blocking enchantments and one-handed enchantments for one-handed and shield. One-handed enchantments and also probably more stamina-based enchantments for dual-wielding. And then two-handed enchantments and also stamina enchantments for two-handed weapons. However, dual wielding is not recommended because you cannot block while dual wielding. So, I think that's good for now. So, if you guys have any sort of requests for character builds, I'd be happy to oblige, though it may take longer to come up with the next character build, just because I won't be able to recycle my Dark Elf Warlock for every single possible class. But soon, hopefully, we should have the Sorcerer character build. and then I can show you guys that, as long as we keep up the Skyrim playthrough series. So we'll just have a last word from Myrick.
Mike is done talking.
Okay, apparently he's done talking. So, yeah guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.